To stay youthful as long as you possibly can is a component of what I call functional medicine, which is a specialty that I am new to. But you're really trying to maximize all of those components that human existence has given you, whether it be in your organ systems, keeping your heart healthy, keeping your lungs healthy, keeping your musculoskeletal system healthy, emotionally, what that brings to the table in challenging yourself to deal with emotions. I believe that youthfulness is a very elusive thing because basically I think that if I look back in time as a 46-year-old male, I'd be a wise elder 1,000 years ago, right? And a female who's 46, if she's no longer reproductively capable, what advantage would she provide to a primitive culture? Probably not a lot. So what happens is that right around the age of 50, you start recognizing there's an element of I'm aging. I am aging to a point where I am now limited by the physical capacities of my existence. And what I try to help people understand is that if you want to maintain that, first thing you need to do is have a balance. You need to have a balance between your emotional and your physical and your spiritual well-being. You need to invest energy into those three courses of action if you want to maintain a degree of health. There are a lot of tools in medicine right now to help people stay young, most of which I think gear towards the physical end of youth. They don't tend to look at the emotional end of youth. But at parties I can ask, how old do you think I perceive myself to be? And it's interesting when I throw that question out at patients. You know, what I have found is that the minute that you perceive yourself to be equal, your emotional age to be equal to your chronologic age, you've kind of accepted that the best days of your life are behind you. And what I challenge people to do is hold on to a youthful attitude emotionally, embrace change, look for challenge, find love in this world, be able to experience those things. You're born in this world with a tremendous amount of potential energy in your body. And typically, initially, that grows in a physical way. Mainly that grows in a physical way and peaks right around probably the age of 28, 29, 30. But at that point in time, your emotional awareness about responsibilities to others in this world and things like that is very limited. Well, that should continue to grow up to probably, I think, about the age of 55. 55 is probably at the very peak of where you are as emotionally mature as you're going to get, because not only are you capable of recognizing your emotional responsibility, you're also capable of going out and trying to find it, to find those to be emotionally responsible to you. After that, what ends up happening is that your spiritual energy continues to grow to the point when you die, and all that's left is that spiritual energy. And I believe that you have to balance those three things out, and you have to look for those transitions and accept them. When I talk about physical energy to people, not only does it involve what you had asked earlier to me of what physical activity brings to help with depression and things like that, there's also the nourishment of your body, the way your body was meant to be nourished. Now, we've created this artificial environment in America where a lot of the things we eat don't exist in nature. And it's foolish to think that if you take something into your body that never existed in nature, after hundreds of thousands of years of evolutionary pressure, that's actually a good thing for you. It's not a good thing for you. It's not a good thing at all. It's all about a balance. It's all about a balance of how you provide nutrition and how you utilize that nutrition to burn energy. And I think it's very, very important that you maintain a degree of nutritional completeness. Food stuff does not contain the nutrition it used to contain. And I think that it is necessary to provide some degrees of supplementation. I think we can overdo that. There's a huge market out there. I don't think you have to supplement that aggressively, but there are a lot of different things that you can do nutritionally to maintain a degree of youthfulness. I think that I believe that if you look for a best in exercise, really what you'd like to do in order to maintain your youth is find exercise that challenges you in a functional way, the way evolutionary pressure would have challenged you. I've spent a lot of time in a gym pushing a lot of weight, knowing that how often do you ever lie on your back and push a bar above your chest? It doesn't happen very often. Now, how often do you have to push something forward in life? Well, that might be much more of a functional exercise. So you'll see CrossFit and P90X and all of these other elements gearing towards functional challenges of the human body, utilizing the body as the tool in the weight to push themselves. I don't know that alcohol has much of an effect in a good way. What it allows you to do is unload some of that emotional responsibility for a brief period of time. So it allows you to become a little bit more uninhibited emotionally. And that might be a very good thing for you within control. We tend to rely upon alcohol as a escape mechanism that diverts us from what burdens our world faces. And a lot of people come home every single day and self-medicate with alcohol. I don't know how much of a role it has. Obviously, it's been a diversion since the start of humankind's ability to produce it. You recognize that it's an important element, and it's got to have some potential benefit if it's lasted that long. So, I believe that it's more of the end of letting down emotional burdens in life.
Final thoughts. And then on this one also, try and lead back to say, in my other videos, I have a discussion on a lot of other topics. So you can we want to start ending with a trailer that pushes everything. So you finish up, it's like, is there anything else you'd like to provide to this discussion about staying youthful in your mind and body?
To give some further input on maintaining a degree of youth in your mind and your body, I have a lot of other concepts that I'll introduce in the future, but what I'd like you to remember is that your body is an unbelievably unique tool. It's a unique tool that's been provided every possible instrument to maximize your potential on this planet. And in order to do that, you need to remember to balance out those forms of energy that you invest into. There are only three. You can give me any burden you've got in this world, and I can divide it in a pie between your emotional burden, your spiritual burden, and your physical burdens in life. Nurturing those in the appropriate fashion is going to bring you happiness. And I will guarantee you that if you look around you and you see people who have a good balance between those three elements of exertion, energy, stress, whatever you might call it, you'll find people who are happy. It's very simple. I see it all the time. I see it all the time in my practice. Those people who maintain that, they can find joy throughout their whole life. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go out there, try to stay in the moment and enjoy what that moment has and see how much happiness can come out of that moment. Use your senses, appreciate the blue of the sky or the crashing of the wave or the dirt underneath your feet or the smile on a dog. Go out there and utilize your senses to appreciate what life has to offer. And in that moment, you should find some joy.